You're listening to Sheep, where we put the funny back into the news. I'm Andrew Bolton, and with me, as always, my fellow sheepalite, Mel Fessenden. All right, and we are back with another episode.
Hello, everyone. It is I, Mel Bolton.
And it is I, Andrew Bolton. And together we are... Sheep. A little bit of ebony and ivory thrown in there.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
You were definitely the ebony. I was the sweet relief.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I am in pure black today, so.
Yes. Those alabaster knees of yours.
If anything, I am ebony and ivory.
Yeah, you look like a piano. Alrighty, guys. Man, we made it. It's Friday.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, finally.
Look at that.
Long week. Yeah. This is more for me than it is for you guys at this point. It's just a...
Oh, okay.
Made it.
Yeah, well, good for you. Congrats all around.
And to y'all out there, too, because you're now a part of it. Mm-hmm.
So, what does...
what do we have
like,
of going...
do you have any stories for us today?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Okay.
Just a few. Just like a plethora.
Oh.
Yeah.
Plethora sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's a modicum amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go into this then.
All right. Well, let's start with this with Geico having to pay. So let's just start over.
Okay. What is Geico got going on?
I'm glad you asked, Melissa.
All right.
So Geico ordered to pay $5.2 million to a woman who claims she caught STD during sex in a car.
Oh, because Geico's car insurance, huh?
Yes.
So it must... I don't know. It's insurance, though.
Yeah, did the car give you an STD?
That's why I was like, that'd be the only thing that would make sense.
No, she literally had sex with her boyfriend who had an STD.
Okay.
He didn't say anything.
All right.
And then she got an STD in the car, and so she tried to sue the boyfriend. Dude, man, has zero money.
Okay.
So who does she go after? Geico. His insurance.
Oh, his insurance for the car.
Yeah.
Whoa. I guess, wow, what a benefit of trying to fornicate in a car.
Yeah, who'da thunk?
That angle is about to be used again.
Yeah, if it was just like a stick shift, it's like, I was trying to get over on his side and I slipped.
Oh.
And you're like,
oh, no.
That would be car insurance, sure. But I don't know if this one's on the car, really.
It took place in a car. So, I mean, by argument of if you get into a car crash and you get hurt inside the car.
Yeah, but if I get an STD inside the car from the car crash.
Yeah, I think it would still count.
Well, that seems more applicable.
Yeah.
Applicable. There we go.
Well, it seems the lawyers were successful, I guess. Or is this just still ongoing?
No. They won. They won 5.2. Or she did. So a Missouri woman who claims she caught a sexually transmitted disease when she had sex with her boyfriend in his vehicle has been awarded a $5.2 million settlement from her now ex-partner's car insurance company.
Well, this certainly isn't going to teach people to keep it in their pants more.
Yeah.
They're just going to start fornicating in cars more.
That's kind of what I was thinking, too.
Yeah, I don't think there's a real lesson that's coming across here.
15 minutes could make you $5.2 million.
5 seconds. It wasn't for you. It was for the other boyfriend, the STD boyfriend that she had.
It hurts.
I don't know why.
Because you directed it at me.
You were just in the room.
I'm the only one in the room.
T-Bone's here.
Oh, yeah? You were talking to T-Bone about his problem?
Yeah. Well, he is made of bone, so.
Yeah, he's always rock hard.
Yeah.
So the state court of appeals on Tuesday affirmed the multi-million-dollar payout against Geico that had been entered through arbitration after the company claimed errors were made in Jackson County Circuit Court. Geico has decided to contest the decision in federal court. Yeah, you got to. And I guarantee you every insurance company is doing the exact same thing right now and backing you.
Yeah.
Because if you're now responsible for who you insure to...
Because we're gonna have to when we sign up for insurance, we're also gonna have to
list
show
our medical history to make sure that we don't have any sexually transmitted diseases, so this can't happen.
Yeah, this seems like it's gearing for a mistrial.
It just seems a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't get. This is I feel like this is setting a precedent that is doomed to falter.
Basically, what we're saying, lady, is don't spend your money yet because there's a chance they're taking it back.
Yeah, I mean, she probably only made she probably got like 3.5, right?
Oh man, what's she gonna do with that?
I don't know.
That small sum of money.
Go to State Farm.
Yeah.
So in February 2021, the woman identified in court papers as M.O. Informed Geico of her intention to seek damages after she allegedly contracted HPV, the human papilloma virus, from her then boyfriend in his car. She claimed he had caused her to catch the STD when he knew of his condition and the risks of unprotected sex. So you didn't know the risks of unprotected sex?
Yeah, but she didn't know about his condition. She probably knew about the risks. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is part of the risks.
Yeah, it is, huh?
Unprotected sex, one of the risks is an STD. That was the whole messaging in health class.
Yeah, it just...
And then the other half was a baby.
You know, it's unfortunate because it kind of falls underneath the realm of victim blaming, but at the same time, when you're promiscuous enough to go to town in a car, albeit he was your boyfriend at the time.
This is only, yeah, for me, this is how I think of it. Only a crazy person could come to the assumption that it was Geico's fault. Hear me out.
Okay.
Because it was a woman. Go. No.
I don't think it was like her thought process was immediately go after his insurance. I think she tried to go after the guy like you.
She probably did.
Yeah, and then she went to her lawyer, said, hey, this isn't working. The lawyer goes, you know what we could do? Because I went to school for this, and this is what all of those years is surmounting to. We're going to apply this to the insurance company.
To the insurance company.
Yeah, so I don't think it was like our game plan.
No.
I think it was her lawyer's game plan.
It just doesn't make logical sense. Like if I was just telling the story to a person in the bar.
Yeah.
And I go, man, I was having sex with my girl in her car, and I got an STD because I thought we were having unprotected sex, and I know, that's on me a little bit, but she told me that she was clean, and she turned out not to be clean, and now, now I've got an STD, and the guy turns to me and he goes, who's your insurance?
Right, so it doesn't make logical sense, but it makes business sense from the lawyer pushing this avenue. That's why I'm harping on this lawyer.
Right, it makes sense from the business, but at fault, yeah, less so.
I don't think that this is just because of what future court cases could be dependent on. I think they're going to overrule this one.
Well, I just think it sets a horrible precedent.
Yeah.
And I think it makes other insurance companies, first and foremost, my insurance is going to go through the roof if this becomes a thing, because I am not anymore because I'm a married male, but if I was a single male, so single men's car insurance is like double to 3 times what a single female's car insurance is.
Oh, weird.
And it's just because most major car accidents are at the fault of men.
Huh. And yet they say women can't drive.
Well, most major car accidents that are caused by men are avoiding bad female drivers.
There's always something.
Yeah. It's like...
Way to fall on the sword, guys.
Yeah. We are...
Couldn't have been because you got yourself a sports car and started going above the speed limit, because what's the point of having a sports car?
You've seen me drive. I drive like a grandma.
Oh, you're so slow.
Yeah.
And you brake so early. And it's such a slow brake. Just, if I had to sum up how you drive in one word, it is slow. Repetitively.
I see now. Yes.
It's safe. That sound better?
Zero tickets.
Yeah.
0 car accidents.
Yep.
What else? That's really all I can brag about, which is really hot now that I'm considering it out loud.
Yeah.
They're like, "Ooh, you're a dangerous guy." And I go, "Oh, never been in a car accident or even a speeding ticket."
Same for both those. And I would argue I'm a pretty...
Yeah, I hate driving with you.
Semi-aggressive driver.
You destroy my brakes.
Virginia driver.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It does. If anyone who is listening is from Virginia and they've driven on 95, they know exactly how I drive. No,
because Virginians, you guys have that whole thing where you don't even get... you don't even have police on the highway. You guys get, you have drones going over the air, and that's how they decide if you're breaking the speed limit.
You know, I have not seen one of those go over.
I just see the signs.
I just don't know. Yeah, what if it's just a threat?
It's just a threat of the signs.
Because you normally just see, like, cops on the side of the road, like normal states.
Yeah, it's like our security system. It's just the sign out front. We're not actually protected.
Beware of large dog.
Yeah, I mean... pretty mild large dog, but a large dog.
Yeah, she looks mean.
So an arbiter for the later found that the couple's sex in the vehicle directly caused or directly contributed to cause the HPV infection. The woman was awarded the $5.2 million. I'm sorry, but if you're having unprotected sex with a guy in a car, you're doing it other places too. Oh yeah. Like on one hand, if I knew this person. And they're like, no, that Geico gave me 5.2. How? Oh, I just had sex with my boyfriend, and he gave me an STD, and I blamed it on them. It just seems weird. Because then other insurance companies are going to... Like, you know how... what's that? Progressive. Mm-hmm. They have that safe driving rewards.
Yeah.
So now they're going to have safe sex rewards?
That doesn't make sense.
And then they're going to have, you know how they have that little thing that you can put in your car that rewards you for every safe whatever?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Have you put a sticker on your car that says your sexually transmitted diseases on here?
No, that'll be a sticker you put on yourself.
Yeah, it seems weird.
Yeah, but what were you talking about because you said if it was someone you knew?
Oh, if it was someone that I knew, I'd be like, wow, good for you. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How the hell did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no need for me to judge there. It makes me sound petty if I'm going to be like, you made that off of that. I'd be like, high five. Good for you. Buried in the ground so they can never take it back from you.
Yeah. But then I would also just think that I would just always be reminded that, like, I'd walk into their house and I'd be like, this is an STD house.
Oh, yeah.
This is...
If I was good enough friends with them, I would never let that joke die.
No, oh yeah.
That's
constantly.
Kept alive and well. Got to keep them humble.
Right, like an STD. Can't get rid of it. Yeah. So the woman was awarded $5.2 million from Geico after the man was found liable for not disclosing his infection, according to the news outlet. That sucks for Geico. I mean, I don't really care because it's Geico. It's a big
his
corporation.
Insurance rate just went through the roof.
Yes, they did.
For 5 point...
And is it horrible that she got that? Like, let me put it this way.
Do you think a person is worth 5.2?
Living with a sexually transmitted disease that you have to tell all future partners from now on?
Oh, yeah, that is how that goes, huh?
And any kids that you have a chance of having the same STD just from being inside your womb?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, all right.
Now, let me put it this way. Had this guy been a millionaire, like 100 millionaire, 10 millionaire, whatever kind of millionaire, right? and he was ordered to pay $5.2 million for this lady for not disclosing that information, I'd go, bravo. Makes total sense. You gave her an infection.
Yeah.
You gave her a disease that can't be cured. I think HPV actually can be cured now.
I think I've seen commercials for something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a cure. I think it's something that just...
so many acronyms out there. I can't remember them all.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's just something that keeps the flare-ups or whatever they would call them.
At bay?
Yeah.
All right.
Keeps it so you can't give it to other people.
Right.
Clearly, this guy was not taking it.
No.
All right. Well, good on you, lady. Like I said, bury it deep, deep in the woods.
There you go.
What's our next story?
Okay. Well, what's a Friday without a sexually assaulting a student from a teacher, you know?
It is pretty not rare nowadays.
It's well,
almost like half of them are a little bit exaggerated.
Well, it's summertime, or almost summertime, guys, and school's almost out.
Oh.
But it is definitely out for this teacher.
Oh, so not exaggerated.
Yeah. So Wisconsin teacher charged with sexually assaulting her student after husband called the police.
Ooh, that just gives you the heebie-jeebies.
How old do you think this lady is?
Oh, gosh. She is husband called. I want to say she is young 30s.
What's young 30s? Give me
early 30s.
What's upper?
Anything 30 to 35.
She's 34.
Nice.
Well done. So a Wisconsin Spanish teacher. I'd love to hear a Spanish person with a Wisconsin accent. Just throw that out there, guys.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Send me something. All right. A Wisconsin Spanish teacher. I'm trying to do it in my own head now. How would you do it? Well.
Good luck.
Yeah. I'll think of it. No, it's more Canadian.
Yeah.
All right, I'll think of it. So a Wisconsin Spanish teacher is facing up to 18 years behind bars for allegedly sexually assaulting one of her 17-year-old students. Rebecca Kilps, 34, was arrested in May and charged with 3 counts of sexual assault of a student by school staff, according to a press release from the Two Rivers Police Department.
That's so weird.
Kilps, yeah, you're twice his age. When you were 17, and it would have been inappropriate for you to have sex with a teacher at that point. 16 years ago would not have been inappropriate for you, but exactly 17 years ago, it would have been inappropriate for you to have sex with a teacher. It is now, that kid was born.
Yeah.
So according to a press release from the Two Rivers. So Kilps had a court appearance on Monday, during which she waived the time requirement for a preliminary hearing, according to WBAY. The hearing is scheduled for July 22nd, at which time the judge is expected to determine if there's enough evidence for the case to go to trial. I would say so after reading this.
Oh, really?
Text messages, and then they both admitted it. So Kilp's bond, a condition set in May, was amended at Monday's court appearance so that she can now see her son. And you've got a son?
Oh, this is all sorts of gross.
And he can't be. The son's got to be closer to your lover's age.
There's a chance the son went to the school. Who knows?
Yeah, that was my bully, Mom. How do you think he stopped?
Oh. Oh, my gosh. No, a bully would not stop after.
No, he'd be your mother and I are very happy together.
Yeah, he would rub his face into it.
Hey, go to bed. Hey, I'm talking to you.
Call me father.
Yeah. So before the change, Kilps was not allowed in contact with anyone under the age of 18, according to the station. Kilps also had to surrender her passport. She is currently free on a $10,000 cash bond. The investigation into Kilps began on May 23rd when social worker reached out to a detective with the Two Rivers Police Department because a student had told her about a relationship between him and a teacher, according to WBAY. The next day, Rebecca Kilps' husband called the same detective and told him that after becoming suspicious of an affair, he checked his wife's cell phone while she was sleeping and allegedly discovered text messages between his wife and the underage student. WBAY reported. Well, you're not going back to sleep after you find something like that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I couldn't sleep next to you. Let's say,
Gosh, no. Ugh.
I would have to leave because I would just be like, this person is just sleeping next to me, not having any idea, and I can't sleep, and it's their fault. It would just drive me crazy.
There's a part of me that I would I would have this. I'd have the thought of, should I help collect evidence or should I send this to people? But also, I think I should just extract myself from the situation. And then there's a little tidbit part of me that wants to make a bucket of ice water and throw it on her.
Yeah. Just like
while she's sleeping.
Yeah, like cement her feet.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I don't know how long that takes to set.
But like over the blankets, so that way it's not like actually on her.
Oh, okay.
But it like definitely will freak her out. Ooh, better yet, stitch her into the bed.
That's a weird one, but I like it.
Yeah, like one of those bags from Patriot. The Patriot.
Oh, yeah.
The one that Mel Gibson's dead son had to go into.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
while he was still alive.
Those are just body bags in general.
Yeah, well.
Oh, yeah. And they put the last stitch to their nose to make sure they're not just passed out sleeping.
Good Lord, that was not what it was. It was when he went to go visit his girlfriend, and they put him in the bag to make sure that he didn't jump outside of the bag while they were spending a night together.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh.
God, why is everything so dark with you?
Well, it was a Mel Gibson movie. I thought his son died.
Well, yeah, I mean, his son died, but I was talking about the cutesy time. Not when they burned an entire village full of people in a church.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Wrong. You should have given me the time in
the movie.
Yeah.
It's about an hour and 22 minutes in. If you're on DVD and
this is your fault.
And you're in that early skip scene stage where you like skip to scene, scene 13.
Gotcha. Thank you. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
It comes out, he's got ink in his teeth, and then you can't help but smile.
Yeah, and she's got ink in her teeth.
And then you just can't help but smile again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So warm and gooey.
They all die.
Yeah.
So he said the messages he saw revealed the two were talking about a future together and saying they loved each other.
It's like taking the worst turn in an affair that you can possibly do. Well, because you're a pedophile, so.
Yeah, because it's like, can you even you can get mad at that.
But an affair.
But can you get mad at the 17-year-old banging your wife?
No, he's... at that age, I think you're susceptible to being groomed.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You're young, impressionable, and you're a young male.
Yeah, and you're dating that 34-year-old, and you're talking about being with her forever, and you're going...
And your grades have never looked better.
Yeah.
So...
How come you're failing every single class except for calculus? How is that possible?
Right.
You're like, all right. I don't know. I think I could... Would I still have rage if I found out that it was somebody underage? Because I know that I would have a rage towards another man, like if he was the same age as us, and I found out that you were having an affair. I would still have rage against that man, even though logically I know...
Are we talking about young men or underage?
When the law doesn't have to come into it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so... like if I found out that you were having an affair, I would have that natural reaction to want to hurt the person who was with you.
Yeah.
Right? Logically, I know that doesn't make any sense because that guy doesn't owe me any... honesty. He doesn't owe me any...
Yeah.
He doesn't have ties of loyalty to me.
He has no affiliation with you.
You have ties of loyalty to me.
Right. How I would think about it is if I actually knew the person you were having the affair with.
Always makes it worse.
Yeah, then I would be very agitated, and that's putting it lightly. I'd be enraged.
I'd be like, I coached this kid.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a chance that they've just tried to be my friend, too.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's that moment that would just sicken me. If I never knew them, even if it was a younger girl, I would be just mad at you.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, well, I guess that's the end there. I'm taking both dogs and everything we own. Bye.
You know that you can't do that, right?
Well, if they can't find me, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, right. I forgot that. I forgot that in your off time, you're constantly just hiding in the woods and figuring out how to do things like that.
I've watched Alone and Naked.
And Afraid.
Oh, is it Afraid too?
Yeah, it's not just Naked.
I'm not going to be afraid, though.
Yeah. And I've seen Naked. It's good for you.
Yeah, I was thinking of XL.
Yeah, Naked and Afraid XL.
I might join a cult. Who knows?
There you go. That's something. So let's see here. The detective then spoke with the victim, who allegedly said things went too far and went bad, according to WBAY. I would like to see a full sentence.
Is this the 18-year-old?
Yeah, so the only quotes that they've got from, or 17-year-old, is too far and went bad. I don't know.
I want to blame the journalism on that one, or the police officer that did the interview. The interviewee, I think, fudged that one.
So Kilps, the victim, allegedly told police had been his Spanish teacher for several years. In his junior year, it's the language of love. In his junior year, they started hanging out socially, and he visited her classroom.
Why in the world are they hanging out socially?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Eventually, they started exchanging text messages. Oh, my God. WBAY said the victim further told the detective that in March, the relationship had escalated, and we talked more and said we shouldn't have. Well, that's what makes it better, though. In all fairness to that.
Yeah, I'm sure she said the line. And he's like, you're right.
They don't line.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
Where's the line? Yeah. It would have been hilarious if he had given the entire interview back in Spanish. And I go, all right, at least he learned.
That's why they didn't get much.
¿Qué se dice? ¿Cómo se dice too far?
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God. So he told police that they had sex twice on the couch in Kilp's home while her husband was away, according to WISN. At least she kept it off the bed.
Yeah, well, she wasn't far from it.
Yeah.
You know, if it kept going.
Flip the cushions. Rebecca Kilps allegedly told detectives that she realized she had feelings for the student and that he meant more than a student should to her, but she kept it to herself.
That's when you let him go to college for a few years. Maybe he'll come back to you. Break up with your husband in the meantime. And here's to hoping.
I don't know. You got a kid. So Kilps also allegedly admitted that she and the victim had sex at her home twice while her husband was away, according to a complaint reviewed by WISN. She also told detectives that she planned to leave her husband after the victim graduated.
I don't believe you.
He's 6 years away from being 23. You're 6 years away from being 40.
Yeah.
Come on, lady.
You were going to move on to another kid.
He was going to move on.
He was going to move on and she was going to move on.
I don't think she was going to move on.
I think so. I don't think it was true love.
Well, I don't think it was true love either, but I think it was the whole excitement of the thing, and she's not getting another one.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's young, impressionable kids with a teacher.
Oh. Nah, because it's too...
Are you looking at a picture of her?
Yeah, it's not impressive.
No?
She's not one of the hot ones.
Oh, okay. That's why you're saying this.
Yeah, I think that's right? Kilps.
Let's make sure.
Let's make sure. I'll look her up again, but from what I remember...
Right, because if she's taking care of herself, I could see her being able to, for lack of a better word, reel in another kid.
If that's her, never mind. She's hot.
See? Told you.
Kinda. She should have done this affair when she was 24. But yeah, there's a...
Oh, it's her in her jumpsuit, her orange jumpsuit. So no makeup. But, you know, I'm sure she could be dolled up. And she seems like she would seem like an intelligent female to a young kid. I could just see her... I could see a young guy being able to be swayed by that.
Yeah, it's called...
Just for bragging rights alone.
Well, yeah, it's also called take off your pants. That's all for a young kid, honestly.
I know, but that was the argument of would she be able...
To bag another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The most... So, WISN reported that Kilps was placed on administrative leave in May, after which resigned from her teaching position at the Two Rivers High School. The most important work of a school district is to protect the safety and well-being of our students. When an allegation of this nature is reported, we take prompt action to protect our students. The investigation is ongoing, but police don't currently believe there are any other victims because it was true love.
Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together. I just don't know why you would do that. I feel bad for the husband.
I feel very bad for the husband. But at least guys get better with age, so
yeah, you're
kind of a win for him, or not a win, but a silver lining.
Yeah, why don't we just hire female teachers? Because this is starting to become a real
I don't know
problem.
If it's... I want to say it's also because it's easily accessible with technology and cell phones and that nature.
Yeah, there used to be a divide between...
Right, all you could do is send a letter or a note.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
Pigeon.
Just... Oh. And who's got those anymore?
Yeah, right. Not well-trained ones.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see where that goes. Hey, it's not looking good for her, though.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you going to do? All right. Moving on. So here is an interesting way to find love again.
Okay.
Okay. So man in China shared his ex-girlfriend's address online in hopes that she would turn to him for help.
Well, you said it was an interesting way to find love again, so it worked?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I read the title, and it was so good, I didn't even read the story.
Yeah, rather twisted way of going about that.
Yeah, I would never do something like this.
I don't know. If I found out my email had gotten out.
Not email. Not like email address.
Oh.
Your real life address.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, you wouldn't be like, hi, ex-boyfriend, I know you cheated on me with my sister and you gave me an STD inside your Beamer, but I'm really worried right now. Everybody's been emailing me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No.
That's what I was like, yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Her physical address.
I could see how that would work in his favor because she might want to just stay at another place.
Just for a couple days?
Until she can figure out what she's going to do.
It's a good move, to be honest with you.
It's deplorable.
But
good.
But good. Like, let's say...
Solid.
Okay, what if, like, it works and, like, 20 years from now down the road he goes, hey, so I was the one that leaked your...
Like, everything worked out and they had some cute little kidders and...
Yeah. And he just had a drunken night and he finally tells her. Would you be upset?
I wouldn't.
How much
but
time?
I'm someone that mellows out over time. I don't know how she would feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was asking how you would feel.
I would probably mellow out over time.
And you would laugh about it? Or would you say that was a good move? If it worked.
It is, but I want a ring or something. I want something to sweeten
so with
the
a
deal.
gift.
Yeah.
You need a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Noted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So women can't be bought. So
I can't be. I never once subscribed to that message.
Okay. Noted. All right. Well, that's how I'm going to treat you, that you did subscribe to that message.
No, I never said that.
I'm listening.
It wasn't me.
I'm listening right up here. So a man from China posed as his ex-girlfriend on a dating app and shared her address online with strangers in the hopes that she would turn to him for help. The woman, identified as Lee, contacted the police. Oh,
man. Why'd you have to get the police involved?
When they go the other direction.
This is going to be a true love tale.
Yeah. Contacted the police after hopefully she meets her new partner in the police force.
Oh.
That would be beautiful.
What a triangle.
contacted the police after someone rang her apartment doorbell in Hangzhou, Zhejiang province at 3 a.m. on Monday, on May 26th. Hey, that's my sister's birthday. Lee, who had reportedly been receiving phone calls from unknown numbers over several days, suspected that her ex-boyfriend, surnamed Chin, was behind the unwelcome visit.
She's on to him.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chin, you're not a sneaky guy.
Either that or he's pulled something similar before.
Yeah. He's a double chin. Double crossing chin. That son of a bitch.
You can have one chin. Two's too many.
Yeah, you two-face chin. So the police found and detained 2 men outside her apartment for questioning. The men claimed they received Lee's address from a dating app, which she denied using. Yeah, it's pretty obvious to figure it out. So,
yeah, you gotta at least
stifle it. Like, don't send like 80 guys over there.
Yeah.
What if something actually
and direct message them too?
What if something actually happened to this poor girl?
Well, I don't think he's the type of boyfriend that would think about that.
Yeah.
He's the type of boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, that's why he's an ex-boyfriend.
Right. He's an ex-boyfriend that thinks that the ends make the journey okay on whatever you did to get there.
The ends justify the means.
There we go.
Phew.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. The ends justify the process in which you had to go through in order to end up where you were.
Dang, I had said it just earlier today, too. Could not remember it for the life of me. You must have like a 1 use per day lineage.
What verbiage did you use earlier to throw that sentence out there?
I don't know. It was a conversation over lunch. I don't know.
No. What I'm saying is I
said it correctly the first time.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, well, it was a joke about what you had previously just said, and it sounded like garbage. So I asked you earlier, what phrase would you have used had you not already used it? Never mind. It doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like a Inception.
It doesn't sound like Inception. Okay. You know what it sounds like?
Crazy talk?
No, but why is it just... It sounds like The Revenant. You're like, why are you bringing Leo up?
Hey, you brought him up the second time.
You're right. You can't do that, but I can. All right. So Chen eventually admitted to creating a fake profile with her images, pretending to be her and revealing her personal details.
And so all the images were just the ones he and her had taken together?
That's just him with a blurred face. You're like, I know this one was you, dude. So he states that I impersonated Lee on the app and leaked her private information to the men who talked with me. Chen told the police. Over 10 days, I sent invitations to 37 men to go out drinking and dating. My goal was that she would come to me for help when she felt she was in danger. So you put her in danger. And then... That's interesting.
Gosh, I'm just picturing him creating this profile and messaging all these guys just in a completely dark room. And the only light up is his laptop. Laughing maniacally.
Oh, yes. That would make the most sense. So what I'm picturing is it was a really hard breakup for him.
Okay.
Right? And his friends are telling him to get over it, get over it, get over it.
Yeah.
And then his one chick friend comes over that he has. He tries to sleep with her and she goes, no, you're not getting it. Because that's what he would try to do.
Okay.
And then she goes, here, enjoy this movie that I had whenever I go through a breakup, I watch this movie and it really helps.
This is really an in-depth idea of him. Okay.
Of his, yeah. Well, he is Chinese, so they're thinkers.
This is your idea. Remember that.
Right. All right. And so then the movie turns out to be, I forgot the title. This is a total buzzkill. You screwed with me. Now, click your heels together. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. What's it called?
Oh,
Over the Rainbow.
I don't know. You're making it harder for me now. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, so he watches Wizard of Oz, and then he gets to the scene where it's just the man behind the curtain, and it turns at that, and he goes, that could be me. And that's how that happened.
I just need to make an illusion.
Yeah.
All right. So he becomes a freakish ex-boyfriend magician.
Don't they all?
Yeah. Abracadabra. All these guys are after you.
Yeah.
Somehow they know your
I don't know
home
how those,
address.
Yeah. At least they didn't write in a bathroom stall. So
Yeah, that would have been less traceable.
yeah, that would have been the old ways to do it. But you really want to.
And you would be sure to know that someone crazy would show up at her house.
There's a good chance one of those 37 guys is probably a better fit for her.
What if it worked out?
Yeah, I know. I just had all these. So now I'm dating 37 men. And he's like, what?
Oh, man.
You're supposed to feel in danger. This guy is specifically picked because he has face tattoos. What's that about? So Chin was detained for blatantly fabricating facts to defame others. The hashtag man leaks ex-girlfriend's information to make people harass her. It's a long hashtag.
Yeah, it is.
Has gone viral on Weibo with almost 50 million views so far. Chin ignited online backlash with users calling his actions disgusting and unforgivable. Unforgivable. I've seen people get forgiven for murder.
Well, that and if it had reached murder, then I would have said it's unforgivable.
Yeah.
But it didn't reach that place. I hope this doesn't happen eventually.
I wish you would have called her other ex.
Why? Oh, to help? That would have sweetened the pot.
Yeah.
I don't know how
it brought us back. He's a Yakuza member, but man, does he know how to keep me safe. Yeah.
Keeps all the other guys at bay.
Yeah. All he's got to do is show him his tatted back. I love him.
Yeah, that's this guy's would be on the show My Ex from Hell.
Yeah. Well, sticking with the same country and sex, we've got another story.
Sex in general, or a guy or a girl?
Guy or girl?
All right. Well, we'll stick with the same country then.
Chinese man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you said guy or girl, so I wasn't
No,
sure
same
which one.
sex.
Gotcha.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, as in like male or female.
Yeah, and then you answered with male or female.
Yeah, but I figured that's what you meant because you were trying to categorize which sex I meant. Like the fun kind of sex or the talk you have with photographers in New York.
You mean like what gender you are?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so let's move on to the story.
Right. So a Chinese man fired for saying women should provide sex to male coworkers for using childbirth as a work excuse.
I'm guessing it was a male that used this excuse because it's been a new one that's really been
No, it was
prevalent.
Who? The childbirth for work?
Yeah.
No, childbirth. He's saying this to his female colleagues.
Okay.
All right. So Ningbo University in Zhejiang province, same province, of eastern China terminated a male staff member after it was discovered that he had posted sexist comments on social media. And you're saying that the East isn't being infiltrated by the West. Fool. So the university released a statement on Tuesday on Weibo that the employee surnamed Li was fired on Monday following the discovery of his social media comments towards women. After investigation, we found that Li made inappropriate remarks in the WeChat moments, which had serious adverse effects. The school has researched and decided to terminate its employment relationship with immediate effect, the statement read. So using the Chinese social media platform WeChat moments, Li reportedly wrote about how women tend to make trouble by using childbirth and family care as an excuse to avoid work. He also suggested that women should provide men with salaries and sex as compensation for male employees' supposedly increased workloads.
His business plan is very lacking.
Is it the sex part?
It is the sex part.
If you just had salaries, would that have been better?
Yeah. I would say the most driving bad factor of this is the fact that he has sex as a compensation. Like, who's going to provide that sex? Is it?
He goes, You want to go home to see your family? I want a blowjob.
Yeah. It's a weird Russian Chinese man.
Hey, it's crazy.
It's
Crazy times. He's pro-Russia. Yeah, he's all for the invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, it's I'd have to hear what his coworkers were using, because pregnancy, all right, that makes sense, but family reasons is a little bit more blurred, a little bit more of a gray area.
In family care, I think he just means like, so he works at a school, right?
Oh, okay. Was not expecting that.
Well, I read it earlier in the paragraph before, so
I wasn't flying you for it. I just wasn't expecting that.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that you were flying me. I don't even know what flying me is.
Flot.
It's all in my face. Yeah. No, whatever. I flawed. I apologize.
When you can't think of a word, you just throw an ing on one that you already know.
Is that what happens? That moment when.
Yeah.
All right. So, dude man works at a school.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if this is the same in China as it is here in the States, but in the States, we have a high, depending on what the teaching level is, the majority of teachers here are females.
Yes.
Well, in China now, they now have they no longer have the one-child policy. Mm-hmm. Right? So now these, so if let's say that it stays the same, right? That women in China are mostly the teachers.
Okay.
Most of the teachers are women. There we go. Okay. And so now this guy and they just got rid of their one-child policy. So now all these teachers, female teachers, are going out there and they're having sex and they're having an extra kid, right? And so all this time now is being built up where it's like person after person after person after person. And,
they're in rapid fire mode.
And they're rapid fire. And for the last 2 to 3 years, he hasn't had a day off for childcare, but everybody else has. And he keeps getting more and more workload thrown on his plate.
Yeah, I guess what could be done to make this fair is if you don't ever really go through having a kid, or you never find that significant other that wants to have children, why not have at least somewhat of a buildup of weeks throughout the year that you can take off as paid leave?
So like a sick day, sick time.
Right, but it would be specifically...
or you just get a bonus for not using it.
Right, yeah. It would just be a specific benefit for those who did have to take on the extra work in place of the individuals that got pregnant and had a baby.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that part would be just more money from the company paying their workers.
And I thought they had things such... maybe they don't have substitute teachers over there. I don't know. Feels like they should.
I'm sure. Well, substitute teachers can only go so far. Because what's paid leave, 2 months, 1 month?
I don't know. Here in this, it depends on what company you work for here.
Right. And so teachers most of the time for a substitute teacher will come up with a lesson plan, and they have to plan that ahead, give it to the substitute teacher. But I don't know how far ahead a teacher would plan that out. For the month or 2 months that they would be gone. So it might fall onto their coworkers.
All right. So the core of the issue is that you shouldn't make male colleagues... So this is him.
Yeah.
Okay. So the core of the issue is that you shouldn't make male colleagues take on extra work because you need to look after your family or your child. You shouldn't take it for granted. You shouldn't feel at ease and justified. You shouldn't be so shameless that you even require male colleagues to do your work for you, Lee wrote in the WeChat moments. I want to ask these women, why don't you give your salaries to male colleagues? Why don't you have sex with male colleagues? And why don't you let your child call male colleagues dad? He just lost it slowly through that post.
Yeah, started off, first statement, fine.
Yeah.
Second, third, went off the deep end.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, why don't you give your salaries to male colleagues? You're like, well, okay, that's a little extreme. And he's like, well, why don't you have sex with male colleagues? And like, okay, Chaz,
Yeah.
calm down. And he goes, why don't you? I think your child should call me daddy. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know where his thought process was to eventually get the kid to call him dad. I think he needs a vacation, hardcore though.
Yeah, I think this guy needs some leave. Yeah.
Somebody give this man a baby.
Yeah, he needs a baby. So Lee also commented that men have an instinct to rape, then kill, then rape, and then kill.
I don't think he should be a teacher right now.
I think he should be teaching sex ed.
No, I think this, which is probably why he got fired. I feel a little for him because I feel like this was a build up until this point.
I felt for him because he was just bitching about work.
Right.
Online.
Mm-hmm.
And then nobody stopped him.
Yeah.
And he just kept on going. And you're like...
I think he got surrounded by an echo chamber.
He definitely could have.
Yeah.
There's definitely... I think there's some pretty strong misogynism in China. And it's only because there's a lack of women there. Meaning like... a guy who has a partner... who has a female partner, really doesn't talk like this for the most part. There are some extremes here or there, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, they love women, or they at least love this one woman.
Yeah.
And that justifies the rest of you. Mm-hmm. And so, and vice versa with the wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. His speech has not been tailored for female ears in a long time.
No, he has not had to do that ever. I'm not even sure he has a toilet lid.
That is the best way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
This came with a lid?
Yeah,
Wow.
I took it off. No need. And then he just said rape and then kill and then rape and then kill. But in all fairness, that's not really sexist towards women. It is a little sexist towards men, though.
No, it's a little psychotic. It's
a little unstable.
I think he's spiraling right now.
I don't know if I have an instinct to rape and then kill.
Well, the only thing I could think is that's like a conqueror's mentality. Like
Oh, so you think he's one of Genghis Khan's children?
Maybe.
You were a Khan, brother. Always remember that.
No, I think it, like you said before, I think he's been just surrounded by mostly guys for a long time, and this kind of thinking hasn't been questioned for him for a long period of time.
Yeah.
He needs, I don't know. He needs to he's in a school right now.
Yeah.
You think that would be
No,
like
you
one
don't
of the
want
most softening factors?
I wouldn't want him teaching my kids.
No, I would be so worried.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just PE.
Yeah. Still, even then. So after Lee's post went viral on Chinese social media, Ningbo University stated on Sunday. So it's a university. So I bet that probably changes the dynamics that I was thinking of, because I feel like there's just as many female professors as there are male professors, but I feel like there's more female teachers than there are male teachers.
Yeah, and if a female professor leaves and he has to cover their whole...
You don't really have a substitute for that.
No, you just have to teach their seminar for them.
That is a lot of work. He probably just had day after day of doing somebody else's work without getting extra pay, and it drove him crazy. I'm not giving this guy an out.
No.
Because, he already lost his job, but I can
see how he got so...
worked up.
Yeah. But then he really went down a dark path.
Yeah, he really did. This is Anakin descending into the dark side.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. He started fine, kind of just being like, listen, I understand that you guys need to go home. Mm-hmm. Had he just said it like this, I understand that you guys have families that you need to take care of, but that does not mean that I am required to do your work. That
Right.
doesn't fall onto me because you have something going on in your life. But then he started saying, but I think you should have sex with me.
I guess, yeah, maybe it's a bad translation too of what he posted.
That's fair.
So because it's a really dumb thing to set himself up like that. What I would think it could have been translated from was, why do these women not give us their salary? They should, if they are going to do that, they should be having sex with me then. And then I can father their children.
Or maybe he said something like...
But then he said rape, murder. So I don't know where...
Yeah. But then he went on that whole rape, murder trend.
And that's right. I'm like, I'm really trying hard for this individual for no reason, but...
It's more of a...
I can feel for him a little bit in the regard of just having
to
that
pick up other
workload.
people's work.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he just went down that rape, murder line of thought.
Serial killer.
Yeah, that train of thought just went that direction. Yeah. Right, because he could have said, "Why don't you give us your salaries if you're not going to be working? Why don't you fork over a little bit of your salary to us?"
Yeah.
He goes, and he could have said, "Well, I'm not having sex with you.
Yeah.
So why is it not my responsibility? It's not my kid, it's your kid, but I get more work."
Yeah. I could see how it could have been translated from that, but I mean,
but at the same time, it probably was not.
Rape, murder.
Or rape, murder. Are you sure you didn't say sunshine, rainbows?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Very different.
Either that or the translator just really gave up in the end. And rape, murder.
Maybe she just had a kid and she had to go through a similar thing where a male colleague was a real dickhead to her.
Oh, yeah.
So Lee later apologized on WeChat, explaining that he was depressed when he uploaded the sexist comments. Weibo users expressed shock at Lee's comments, with many describing it as gender terrorism. All right, that's a little bit...
He's just disgruntled, guys.
He didn't do
he's
anything.
Very disgruntled.
Right. I have a hard time holding people accountable for words.
Especially easily posted words.
Right. It's this...
If he had been making these threats consistently for like the past 3 months, yeah, that's a big word.
Right. If this was over the course of like a year, totally on site, you got to check this guy out.
Yeah.
If he said it once or twice, any more than that, though, you got to check it out. But gender terrorism, that's another female word. Gender terrorism. You're like,
Well, it's just someone that likes to put title on things.
well, I just
Likes
think
to
it's
label things.
well, I just think it's hilarious that Weibo users are going, "We care about this. This is gender terrorism." You're like, "What about the Uyghurs?" You're like, "Oh, we don't give a shit about those guys."
Who?
Yeah. How do you think we get cheaper shirts? You get cheaper shirts by sending them to us. We get cheaper shirts by getting them made by those guys.
The plot thickens.
And the plot thickens. So the most terrible thing is that he's a teacher, one user wrote. I don't think that's the worst thing about it, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean...
He's a professor.
I do think this is something that eventually, hopefully, we can figure out the true equation for people who want to have a family but also want a career.
We had it figured out 60 years ago. Yeah. And then tampons were created. Yeah. No, I just think that probably is why, though, for the majority of...
That was a big step in progress for women.
Was the tampon? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I know it was huge. But what I mean is, like, one person always needing to be home to take care of the child.
Yeah.
And that usually fell on the lady, because 1 week out of the month they weren't able to go anywhere anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So
stay in the safe place.
Stay in the safe place, away from the sunlight. Alrighty. Well, moving along. All right, and we're down to our last story of the day, guys.
What? That is crazy. It's like this always happens.
I know. All good things must come to an end. And here it is. So, a mother charged with tying up 5-year-old on scorching roof for not doing homework.
That's bad. That's a bad mom.
I just got drug tested.
Yeah.
But I was, and granted, I was 13. No, I was 16.
I'm trying to remember what happened. It was tough because they would tell me I was grounded to my room. Couldn't use electronics, so I just read a book, and then I enjoyed the book. So it wasn't like a real. I never learned my lesson for not doing homework. Oh, they did take away soccer a few times.
Oh, my parents took away wrestling from me.
Yeah, sports.
Yeah, so what I did was I actually did something pretty evil. Not evil, but it was the first time that not the first time. I was a pretty manipulative kid.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Let's just own up to this one.
Okay. I had figured out that my parents cared way more about my grades than I did. And so they would threaten me with things like my electronics being taken, being grounded. And then they eventually made it to sports, right? You're not allowed to participate in sports because they go, we finally found something that he actually gives a rat's ass about, and that is his athletics.
Yeah.
So we're going to take those away from him. Well, my mom's she loves athletics.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That your mom's
She's a competitor through and through. Loves watching it, being a team doctor. She loved doing all that crap, right? But she also wanted her son to graduate with, without any Fs. And so, anyways, so they came up with this scheme, this plan, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the first thing that they did was they took my driver's license. They went and helped me go get it. And then I got the picture taken and all that kind of stuff of my driver's license. And it was really cool. And I go home and they're like, oh, show it to us. And then they showed it to me. And then they took it and they cut it in half. And they said,
no.
Yeah. And they go, you got D's in your report card. So you don't get to drive until you get these grades up.
Cut it in half, though?
Yeah.
They should have just taken it.
Nope. They cut it in. Well, it was one of the. It wasn't my OG one.
Oh, it was your paper?
It was the paper one.
Still.
Yeah.
I think the cut up was...
It was meant for dramatics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to go that far, get one of the shredders.
Oh, yeah. Why not just a flamethrower then, Mel? Good Lord.
I would have also enjoyed that theater.
All right. Well, anyways. So that was the first thing they did, and it didn't bother me at all. I had no problem being chauffeured around. I was a little irritated because it wasted my afternoon. But other than that, I wasn't really that bummed. And so my mom would try to embarrass me at school, and I found out that really, in this day and age of parenting, the only power parents have is the power that you give them. Because they can't hit you, and they can't really do much to you, otherwise it's child endangering or whatever.
Yeah, things are heavily in our favor.
Right. This is like being a woman in a marriage. So.
Bad joke.
Oh, I was expecting more pushback than that, so I'm happy with it. So I had, so I realized that my mom was trying to embarrass me, right? And because she would drop me off at the front of school and go, "Bye, sugar. I love you, Andy Pandy. See you later." Right? And all my friends were there. And the first time I think I probably did get embarrassed. And I was like, "Oh, Mom." And I would put my hood up and like walked in, and she'd probably rubbed her hands together maniacally.
Yeah.
And then she drove off, right? Well, anyways, a couple days go by and she's doing it. And then I just stopped acting embarrassed by it. And it drove her crazy. Because I would start to get, I would start walking out and my mom would do that embarrassing thing. And then I would just turn around and do a giant wave, both hands. And then eventually I got my friends involved in it too. So they were always there. And so she just realized it stopped fazing me, so she stopped doing it. And then they then tried to take my wrestling away from me because I had 1D in one class, and it was human anatomy, and it was because I didn't do my coloring book. So we had this stupid freaking coloring book for human anatomy, where this was like the homework we had every day type of thing, was to color in parts of the body with colored pencil or marker or whatever you wanted to use.
Right. And you'd color them correctly, and then someone else would check.
And then, okay, like everybody knows the story. All right.
But I mean, everyone's had that kind of class.
Nobody understands my anguish. All right. And so, yeah. So then you had to color them in, and that was it. And then that was your homework, right? Well, I thought that was a dumb thing because it didn't teach us anything about human anatomy.
Yeah.
Because you were just coloring.
It was coloring with weird rules.
And my mom is a doctor. And so I knew that this was horse shite because my mom had called it horse shite. She goes, what are you doing? I go, human anatomy. She goes, I remember my human anatomy class. And then meanwhile, I'm sharpening a colored pencil. And she goes, what the hell are you doing with that? And I go, I'm learning, mother. And then she goes, that's horse.
Have you seen Indigo?
Yeah. I'm trying to color in the pancreas. Have you seen my magenta? And so, anyways, that was why I had a D in that class, right? And so my mom and dad came together and they go, listen, Andrew, you're not allowed to wrestle until you get your grades up. And so I said, okay, fine. And so what happens was in my school, you were allowed to request a letter, like a report card.
Yeah.
Whenever you wanted to from the teachers, right? And so that first week I had like, let's just say 3 A's, 2 B's, a C, and a D. Okay?
Yeah.
My parents get that thing back. I now have 4 B's, 2 C's, and a D, right? And then, or whatever, right? And each week that they kept checking, I made sure that all of my grades went down progressively.
So they're sweating.
And so now I'm down to like all of my grade. My best grade is a C+ at this point, and that's in PE. And I loved PE. I was just I
wouldn't have been able to do it. I loved PE.
No, I just skipped out on days that was like mile and stuff like that. I was like, no, I'm just gonna be just be a shit student. If you're not gonna let me wrestle, this is how I had it in my brain. I go, if you're not gonna let me wrestle, I am going to just flunk out of school.
Yeah.
I go, because I'm 15 or 16 at this age, and I just go, who cares? Right? This is my whole life.
Yeah.
And so
I've got this.
And so my mom's looking at me and she's like, why are your grades getting worse? And I go, I don't know. And so she asks all the teachers and they go, well, he's just not turning in his homework. He's doing well on the tests. He just hasn't turned in homework for 3 weeks. And my mom turns to me and she goes, you haven't done homework in 3 weeks? And I pick up my my book bag, my backpack, and I take out 3 weeks worth of assignments and I go, they're all right here. You let me wrestle and I'll turn them in.
Yeah, that's one might argue that was more work than just getting your actual grade up.
But it was the message that it sent.
Yes, you are quite the martyr.
That's not, no, mastermind.
Yeah, whatever. Joan?
Yeah,
is it Joan Arc?
Oh, it was the martyr?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're sticking with I'm a martyr.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it was just, it was about, I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I could not tell you why in the moment, but it felt great doing it.
We decided why you did it at the beginning of this whole tale.
Oh, what was it?
It was because you were a weird, crazy, evil scientist kid who got back at your parents. We had a bet. I think you were like an evil mastermind is what we called you.
Oh, is that what we said?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll take it. Thanks. Anyways,
what were we doing? Pinky, what you got?
Pinky and the brain. So we got off topic. Mother charged with tying up 5-year-old on scorching roof for not doing homework.
Yes.
I think this mom could have broken me.
I think
my evil mastermind would have got me killed.
This kid could have used a call from you.
I don't think I would have helped. I think I would have...
Here's what you do, kid.
I think I would have... Die. You sit out there. You make that place your own. You now love that place. So an Indian mother has been charged after she allegedly tied up her 5-year-old daughter on a scorching hot roof to punish her for not doing her homework. The horrific incident took place in the Kujari Khas section of New Delhi on June 2nd, when temperatures reached 113 degrees.
That's pretty awful.
So police said the girl's mother tied up the kindergartner's arms and legs with rope and then left her on the roof of the family's home to punish her for laziness.
Could you imagine just the fact that someone would use rope on their child?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Oh, you imagined it really easily.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. Yeah. Oh, I've already said that. Well.
To use rope on their children?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess your siblings duct taped you, so you're just used to it.
No, that's not what... I'm just saying I see kids on leashes.
Yeah, I was a leash kid. I guess that's why I'm used to it.
Yeah, could you imagine doing something like that? What about like a fancy rope? You're like, that I'm fine with. But rope.
It pretends to be a cute little animal attached to your back.
It's like a big lanyard.
Yeah, no, I had a thing for trying to disappear in department stores when my mother took me out. So
yeah,
she decided to put a leash on me.
Nice. Did you run around poles and just sit there and get tangled?
But my favorite hiding spot was those clothing racks that's just a circle because you could just go right inside.
Yeah.
And so I scared a lot of ladies too. A lot of other shoppers were really weirded out.
Yeah. You should put a bell on your child. You're like, I already got a rope. What do you want from me?
How bad can this go?
Yeah.
But
you run away. You're just stuck in the woods somewhere with a leash dangling on a branch.
That actually did happen to one of our dogs once.
Right. That's what I was picturing was a dog, but with you.
I know. But she was, the tide was coming in. She was stuck out.
Oh, wow. Terrifying, actually.
Yeah, the leash was stuck in between some rocks.
Oh.
She had escaped. It wasn't like we were just letting her walk around with a leash. But yeah, she was an escape artist. Any hoozles. I would say this mother's lesson failed once the police arrested her.
Yeah, and they forgot about the girl.
Oh, man.
That's always the worst.
Wait a minute, guys.
Why are we here? Why are we arresting her? Child abuse. Where's the child? Who cares? She's gone. Can't hurt her anymore. Oh, do you have something in the oven? Is that why your kitchen timer's going off? Yeah, well, it's just going to have to burn. You're like, no, it's my child. So,
a kindergartner. Couldn't have been too crazy of an assignment.
No, it probably was not. So police said the girl's mother tied up the kindergartner's arm. Maybe it was rope tying class.
Maybe. No.
So,
yeah. Anyways. No, it was fine. It was going to be another anecdotal childhood story. That
good. So I saved it. I saved us all.
You saved us all.
Yeah. So police said the girl's mother tied up the kindergartner's arms and legs with a rope and then left her on the family's roof to punish her for laziness. In the video that was recorded by a neighbor and shared widely on social media, the child, wearing a pair of shorts and a tank top, has her ankles tied together and her arms restrained behind her back.
Yeah, you can't try moving because you might roll off.
Yeah, well, she's on the center of a roof that has edges and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not like one of our roofs.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little better.
It's a flat. It's like the Alamo. Think of the Alamo.
Yeah, I was definitely just picturing one of our roofs.
Yeah.
It's like, that is just dangerous, lady.
You're like, I've seen the Taj Mahal, and yeah, it's got some flat spots, but you'll fly right off that sucker.
Any one of the Hershey Kisses tops, yeah.
Yeah. So she makes desperate attempts to loosen her restraints, but without success because she's lazy. That's what her mom's trying to teach her.
Hasn't learned yet, guys.
No, keep her there.
Keep her out there.
Yeah. So the neighbor who recorded the video could be heard saying that the child was left on the roof at 2 p.m. local time, which is one of the hottest periods of the day in the region that has been experienced severe heat waves. Glad somebody has been. Yeah, it's been brutal over here.
Yes, this is the time to get jealous.
Just saying, maybe throw some cold weather their way and we'll take some of the heat.
Yeah, that's true. I would quite enjoy that, actually.
Yeah. So Delhi police tweeted Wednesday that they have initiated appropriate actions against the girl's mother, who was identified only by her first name, Sapna. The mother faces child cruelty charges. It is unknown if the 5-year-old suffered any injury from the heat exposure. When interviewed by police, Sapna claimed that she had kept her daughter on the roof for 5 to 7 minutes for not finishing her schoolwork before bringing her back indoors.
I doubt that.
Yeah, you don't tie knots.
For 5 to 7 minutes.
No, you just throw them up there and you lock the door.
Yeah. You were planning for 30 to an hour.
Yeah. So the girl's father, Raj Kumar, told A&I that he had gone to get his bicycle fixed when his wife flew into a rage and punished their daughter. I love the dad in this one. I had no idea.
I was gone.
My wife, when she is angry, is like Ashura's rage. She turns into a three-headed demon, and you just cannot trust her. Kumar, who works as a tailor, said when he received a call from his father about what had happened, he rushed home and scolded his wife. What are you doing, you crazy bitch?
Well, neighbors will see.
Yes, that's what the basement was built for. So the victim's uncle, who gave his name as Sunil, told the news the outlet that his sister-in-law often beats her daughter and 11-year-old son.
Oh, bad mom.
Yeah. So if somebody from the... Yeah, I know. I like how Raj acts like he's like...
He has no idea any of this ever goes on.
My God, I have so many bicycles to fix. This same fucking wheel keeps on popping off. What if every time the wife wants to punish the children, she goes and screws with his bike?
Oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he never knew.
Hey, Raj, your bike chain popped off. Thank you, Sapna. I will go right away to go fix it. Perfect. Don't come home for 5 to 7 minutes. Brutal.
Man.
So if somebody from the family... Okay, hang on. This is him trying to say something. The uncle.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody from the family tries to meddle in between, she says that it is their kids and only she has rights over them, he said. Man, you're turning into a real Western feminist. She was not like this before. She has become like this in the past 2 to 3 years. COVID. I actually do think that there is a huge link between mental depression and reactions like this and the start of COVID. I think lockdowns screwed people up.
I believe that. Yeah.
I don't think it screwed with stable people. I think it screwed with people who were on the brink.
Yeah, and then it made stable people unstable.
And then it made stable people on the brink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, according to a neighbor, the mother had once made her son stand naked in the street in the middle of winter as punishment. My God, he takes after you, Sanjeet. He goes, shut up, it's cold out there.
Yeah, she's all about the punishments.
She loves him.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have been sassy to this woman. I think she would have had me dead to the rights.
I would have, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think you would have handled this well.
No. But at the same time, too, I also think that once I hit the age of, I think I could have beat up my mom at the...
Jeez.
Hang on. Well,
Okay.
yeah, if she's doing this to me.
All right.
But what I meant was, I think I was physically capable of beating up my mom when I turned 13, 14.
Yeah. Or at least being able to protect yourself is a better way of putting it.
No, I definitely could have beat my mom's ass at 13 to 14.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going down that route.
Yeah. I could have kicked her ass. Never would have.
Mom, want to play some football?
Well, hang on a second. I've never once touched my mother. I've never once done any of those types of things. So I'm allowed to say this in knowing... it's like that, what's that old saying that you have to first be dangerous before you can be peaceful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not peaceful, you're...
Inadequate.
Not a threat.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
I know, I just want to make sure you got that disclaimer out there.
Oh, yeah. And then when I was 16, I could beat up my sister. 17, my dad. And then... probably 20 to 21 when I could beat up my brother.
Look at you rise to fame.
That's how I had to do it, yeah.
I cannot beat up anyone in my family.
You think you can take your mom?
I could take my mom. But everyone else, yeah, I'd lose to.
Yeah? It's fair. Well, tell us in the comment section who you think you could beat up in your family.
We've all thought it before.
Yeah. you just do that, especially as a guy, right? As you're growing up, a lot of your instincts are based on, yeah, but I can kick his ass.
My favorite thought process to go through is, it's not with my family. It's if I see an officer, I always have the internal debate. would I be able to outrun them?
Yeah, could I get away from this guy?
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's a yes.
It's a pretty big belly they're sporting.
Yeah. There you go. That's unless we're going.
Either that or like their walk just looks very unathletic.
Yeah. Yeah. But then there's always that one officer that looks very, very in shape.
Yeah. And you're like, ooh.
Oh, you
take care of yourself.
Oh, yeah. This isn't your
officer.
Yeah. Ooh. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's all we've got for you guys today.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in to another fantastic episode of Sheep. And as always,
stay classy out there, everyone.
there